Well, good Monday morning to you, and welcome to our Monday morning live edition of Healthy Living South Mississippi. Live healthy, be healthy with Doctors Jim and Janine Fox of Doctors Nutrition, Cowan Road in Gulfport, south of Pass Road, across from the old Kmart building. If you're going to stop by, they will be there this week. Tell you right now, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Wednesday, you're not going to be there with
Cruising the coast.
We're going to take off for cruising the coast for a day. We're not taking off all week like a lot of people do, but we are taking off an extra day.
And I tell you all the time that have people ask me that there's when you do want to go in and see them, there's no you don't need to make an appointment. You don't. The consultation is absolutely free.
Right.
Now this is something that we decided we're going to start doing the first Monday of every month, and that's our open line Monday, which basically we don't have a specific topic. So we invite you to call in and ask any questions about anything that's ailing you. Maybe you're trying to improve your lifestyle, more healthier lifestyle, and that would hopefully direct you on your way. But anything that you have health issue-wise that you'd like to talk to the doctors about, our phone lines are 896-0713, 800-349-0713, toll free. I believe Stephanie's going to be on the phone lines this morning, our operator. You can call in and you can ask them personally or pass the question along to our operator, and they will pass it along to us too. So cooler temperatures, really nice.
Yes.
Fall of the year coming up though.
Fall of the year coming up in wintertime, and of course, more people are going to be starting to worry about maybe colds or something. And is it a good time of the year to maybe start boosting up your immune system?
Yes, definitely.
Do it before things happen and you're much better off.
Right.
Now's the time to start. We haven't really got into the cold and flu season yet. So now's the time to start. Start getting healthy.
There's a lot of things that you can do to increase the immune system. For one, getting plenty of sleep. I mean, people that get lack of sleep have been shown over and over that they actually have a lower immune system. But there's things you can do. We have the liposomal C, we have arabinogalactin, we have DMG. There's a lot of things. And also vitamin D, which we talk about that every week.
And this is true because when it gets cold in wintertime, you don't get out in the sunshine as much.
Yes.
True.
Right now is probably the highest your vitamin D levels are all year. So right now we're still at probably people's high because we're at the end of a summer. They've had all summer to actually get sun.
Right.
When winter starts hitting, you're going to see vitamin D levels
unless
dropping.
Unless you're like me and have a built-in solar panel,
That's true.
Anyway, Betty in Woolmark is already on the phone with us this morning. Good morning, Betty.
Hello.
Hello.
I enjoy your show.
Well, thank
you. Thank you.
What foods contain the probiotics?
Things like sauerkraut are really good, or your fermented foods. Yogurt. And I've got to remember that you want to do the plain yogurt or kefir. Because
kefir's one of the big ones.
Kefir's one of the biggies, and like say sauerkraut.
Even the fermented foods are their highest, but some of the commercially available fermented foods are pasteurized, which means it kills off a lot of the bacteria. So doing your own fermented foods, there's little kits out there because we've done it ourselves.
Yeah.
And they say you get huge amounts if you ferment your own vegetables.
No, and something else to remember, Betty. When you eat, say for instance, vegetables, fruits and vegetables raw. You're getting bacteria there. I mean, there is always, I don't care how good you wash it, there's going to be some, little bacteria there.
I was even reading something about people with bacteria levels and people with better bacteria levels actually eat leftovers.
Right.
Leftovers, if you think about it, why do they make you sick if they get too old? They have too much bacteria in them. So they do get bacteria, which does help it helps your bacteria too,
Right.
but if you get too long and too much, then it's going to make you sick. So leftovers help also.
Thank you, Betty, for the call. Katie from Gulfport. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning.
Morning.
I called and she answered my question, I think.
Okay.
I didn't get the end of it. I asked her, I told her that I couldn't walk.
Okay.
And what was the reason for it? I got where I couldn't walk.
Now there can be so many reasons for it.
That's hard to say, Katie.
Without seeing any lab work on you, without seeing you, you don't really know. So that one is a question that you don't know. Just everybody's
probably the best thing to do is go see your primary care and your doctor and find out what's going on.
I've been seeing them. They don't know.
Well, get copies of any of your lab work and bring them into us.
Yeah.
Because it's better to look at something than to just not know for sure, because that could be so many different reasons.
Sure could.
Yeah, they open at 10 o'clock weekday mornings, 10 to 5 they're open there, and then from 11 till 2 on Saturday. Of course, the doctors are there this week Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Normally they're there Monday through Thursday.
We do have a fill-in doctor Wednesday, but
Yes.
we're not going to be there.
Right.
Yep.
Definitely. So you can stop by there and hopefully answer your questions there, Katie. And like you said, be sure you take your blood work with you. If you don't have a recent blood work, they have
We
some
can do
young
it,
lady there
Yeah.
that can, Brooke, that can take your blood and hopefully can answer your questions.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for your call.
Yeah, the probiotic question was really good because that's
How
one
do
of
you
the-
do ferment? How do you ferment your own food?
Well,
it's really
okay.
not that complicated.
It's
actually,
scary. You think, how much bacteria is growing in this?
Yeah. For instance, to make sauerkraut, you just chop up your raw cabbage.
Okay.
And you use a brine of water and salt, okay, and you just crush it up really good so it breaks it up, and you put it in a little, like you can use a mason jar or something, and you put it in there, and you, believe it or not, the liquid will cover it. And we've got a little glass ring that you set on top of that, pushes it down so make sure that it's covered, with fluid or liquid.
Right.
And 3 to 10 days, and you got.
And then it has this little thing. You have to get a certain thing to be able to. I mean, I'm sure there's other ways to ferment
It
because
ferments
they've
it,
done it for
yeah.
years and years and years. I mean, back in the olden days, everything was fermented.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
the only way they had to keep it. But of course, there's modern technology
Modern
to help,
technology
to
in
help
there, right.
fermentation, which we did get little kits so we can actually.
And I'm sure you can
ferment
go
things.
online and Google it and
Oh, yeah.
get instructions.
Oh, yeah.
You can get recipes for, good Lord, anything. I mean, I even had some leftover, this time of year you start getting a lot of leftover okra. And people are fermenting this stuff. I said, that's neat. I'm going to have to try that, some fermented okra.
Usually if we have fermented okra in around the house, it's going in a Bloody Mary. So,
Okra?
well, I mean, pickled okra.
Pickled.
Pickled
okay.
okra.
Pickle. Well,
Well, still, I've never even heard
pickled.
of pickled okra and Bloody Marys, but that's just.
Oh, you put everything
Maybe
in
'cause I
just
don't
about
drink
everything.
them.
Yeah.
Shows how many Bloody Marys.
That's right. I don't know much about Bloody
We're
Marys.
switching over to a whole different
different
topic
story,
here.
yeah. It is open line Monday, though.
This is true. It is open line Monday, but and I'm sure a lot of people will talk about wine and how especially red wine.
Yeah.
How good it is to you. Caller wants to know how drinking milk can cause breathing problems.
Well, milk is probably one of the biggest mucus producers. So when you drink milk, it increases the amount of mucus in the respiratory tract and everywhere else too, but especially the respiratory tract. And so, the more mucus and the thicker that mucus gets, the harder it is to breathe. So that's probably one of the
milk
biggest
is a mucus-producing food.
bad mucus producing.
It is.
Our phone lines are 896-0713, 800-349-0713. It is Open Line Monday, so if you want to give us a call about any topic, please do so. We'll be right back after this break on Healthy Living South Mississippi. Live healthy, be healthy. And welcome back to our Monday morning edition of Healthy Living South Mississippi. Live healthy, be healthy with Doctors Jim and Janine Fox of Doctors Nutrition, located on Cowan Road in Gulfport, just south of Pass Road. As we said, we are started to where the first Monday of the month is going to be our Open Line Monday, which we will take calls on regarding anything that ails you. That's what we want you to do. If you have any problems or whatever, give us a call and we'll try to answer any questions. But as we mentioned before, we was going to break and the young lady called about mucus problems.
Yeah.
We were joking about the Bloody Marys and the wine, but a glass of red wine sometimes can be good for you.
Yeah,
if you don't overindulge in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's true. There was a study came out, about 2 weeks ago, about resveratrol, which is in red wine, and of course it's in a lot of plants too, but red wine specifically. And of course they say that it took about 6 glasses of red wine, which might be a little too much. But a glass is okay because you do get some of that resveratrol from that.
Or you can take resveratrol.
Or you can
for
actually
health.
take resveratrol, which would probably be better. But in that case, a little bit's fine, in moderation.
It's when you overproduce.
Right.
And back to the milk thing with the mucus, we talked about last week, I think it was last week with the COPD show.
Yeah.
If you do have that real thick mucus, even if you haven't drank milk and you still have the thick mucus, NAC is amazing at breaking up the mucus. So N-acetylcysteine, it's in the amino acid family, but it really works well and it's very inexpensive.
A lot of research on it. Lots of research on it.
And I want to mention again, we've talked about this, we were trying pounding this into your heads, so to speak, as my mom used to say, is that, when they talk about different things as far as supplements and all that, People think, well, I'll just run over to my local big box store and just buy me some of that.
Right.
And again, we've talked about that. That's really not a good thing because you're not going to get it in its best form, the purest form. A lot of those things have fillers in them, and a lot of them, the percentage of actually what you need, the percentage in them is really, really low. So,
A lot of times when you compare, people have even brought stuff in that they've bought, and when you compare, it might have 100 milligrams and 30 pills in a bottle to where ours is 500 milligrams and 90 pills. And when you look at the cost difference, it's huge. Ours is so much cheaper in the long run than what that is, but you don't think about that. You think, oh, well, if it's at a smaller store, it must be more expensive, and that's not the case.
No.
A lot of times you do get what you pay for, but a lot of times they make it look like it's cheap by putting lower milligrams and smaller amount of capsules in a bottle. So you do have to look at what you're getting. And when we talk about stuff too, we need to talk about there's therapeutic dosing. That's why when you come see us, we talk about how much it takes to be therapeutic. You could take I always say, like if you take a baby aspirin for a headache, it's probably not going to do a lot.
No.
Because it's not high enough. And the same thing with supplements. If you don't take enough of a supplement, a lot of times it won't work at all.
Well, it's like that red wine and the resveratrol there. They say it takes about 6 glasses minimum. And that only gives you about, I think it was
To me, that
10,
would be a little
15.
bit much for somebody to drink every day.
That's
I don't like red
yeah.
wine in the first place. So
No,
that's too much at one
that
setting.
would be a little
okay.
bit too much at one time, but that's what the
But
research showed.
you can take like one of our resveratrol
and it
capsules.
Would, and it would equal
it's
more than 6 glasses.
Way more than 6 glasses. It's more like about 20-something glasses of wine. And so when you look at that therapeutic value, there's a big
and less of an after effect.
And
than-
much
Oh,
less
yeah.
of an after
than-
effect.
And no hangover the next day.
Yeah.
And a lot cheaper too.
Oh, yeah, a lot cheaper.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because wine, you start drinking a bottle and a half a day, you're going to
and if you're
get
gonna,
expensive.
And if you're going to do red wine, get the organic red wines because of some of the chemicals that they use in wine production is not too good for you. So, especially some of the fungicides they use on grapes. Grapes are
I was just going to
tough,
say, I mean,
yeah.
they've got to spray the things
They
that,
do.
at
The
some point.
organic ones are that's the only ones. If I'm going to drink my red wine, it's going to be an organic red wine.
And they do have them around here.
Yeah,
so.
they have them. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that's what you like is
Right.
a
That's
good
the only
organic
one I
red
keep,
wine.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Betty on the phone this morning. Good morning, Betty.
Yes, I was just calling to see about having whole grains.
Organic whole grains.
Something recently you said about not using whole grains.
Well, you don't actually, we talk about grains in general because there's a lot of research coming out about how grains definitely affect people. Now, there's some that say if you're going to do grains, and if it needs to be whole grains and it needs to be organic only because grains, even the whole grains, are sprayed so heavily with chemicals nowadays that you're getting huge amounts of something called glyphosate. And that glyphosate has been linked to all kind of problems, including memory loss, Alzheimer's, weight gain, diabetes. I mean, you name it. So if you're going to do whole grains, it needs to be organic only.
And in limited quantities, Betty.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing of it is, when you look at grains themselves, if you take the whole grain and you get the germ, like for instance wheat, you get the bran, you get the germ, and you still get that endosperm, which is the white fluffy flour stuff. And that's the one that turns to sugar rapidly in your body. And so you're putting a high, what we call glycemic load in your body. In other words, it's high load of something that turns to glucose or sugar really fast in your body. Your body has to defend itself with that. It has to do some certain things. And so that's why you want to keep those to a bare minimum or just kind of get them out of your diet.
Right.
Because honestly, if you go back and look at our ancestry thousands of years ago, we didn't have it. We didn't eat it. We
And
weren't
also,
designed
when
for it.
people think about whole grains, they think just whole grain bread is whole grains. It is
No.
not.
It's got a lot of
packaged
caramel
and
flavoring and
it's
coloring and-
packaged processed foods. So you
truly
don't
is.
want packaged processed foods. I mean, if
Right.
you get your own grain that you grow and get the old-timey grain, which is very hard to find, you can't find it around
Emmer's
here
one,
probably.
yeah.
And do it yourself and grind it yourself and process it yourself, that might be a different story, but people don't do that nowadays.
It's
Yeah.
rare.
All right, Betty, thank you for the call. Mary Ann is next on the phone. Good morning, Mary Ann.
Good morning.
Morning.
What can we do for you, Marianne?
Well, I have a serious problem that sounds funny. My ears itch.
Okay.
Okay.
Inside the ears or outside the ears?
Inside the ears,
Okay.
and it's so severe that it wakes me up at night.
Most people, you can't say all because I mean everybody's condition is going to be a little bit different, but it's from allergies. because we have a lot of people that come in with itching ears. And
Allergies or
when we
fungal.
use something called Aller 7 Plus that we have, it tends to help it. So you might want to try that, because a lot of times, itching ears can be
Sign of allergies.
sign of allergies. It can be fungal. People don't think about fungal in the ears, but it does happen. Think about all the dogs that have fungus in their ears. People can get it too. And so it's very common in animals, but people can get fungus in their ears too, and that will make them itch. So there's things for that also.
Okay. Thank you, Mary Ann, for the call. 896-0713, 800-349-0713. If you have a question for us this morning on our Open Line Monday. Question, is there a supplement for neuropathy in the legs or feet to relieve pain?
There's some good things to help that. There really are. And it's more common than you think. A lot of people think that neuropathy only comes when you're pretty severely diabetic. Actually, the research is showing us now that if your A1C is above 5.5, you're causing some damage through what we call an advanced glycation end product. It's an AGE, aging, seriously, and fast. That's what happens. So, but yes, there are some really good supplements for it. We've got several of them.
Yeah, actually, the neurochondria is one that's put together specifically for neuropathies.
Right,
and it's going to have your methylated B12 and methylated folate and all the stuff to help with nerve damage and help with that. So it's one that a lot of people take. We do have another thing that we've been using called Innocin. And Innocin is, even the front of the bottle says nerve regeneration formula or something.
It's a specific amino acid that we've actually seen some very good responses with it.
We've had a lot of people that are diabetic that are taking it for the pain. And they say it works as well as their medications for the pain. So, and it's not real expensive. The neurochondria is a little bit more pricey.
It's a lot more expensive.
The Innocin is not. So we do have that. We have a couple things.
Okay.
Several things.
896-0713, 800-349-0713. It's our Open Line Monday. We'll be back with our final segment here and let you know what we'll be talking about next week here on Healthy Living South Mississippi. Live healthy, be healthy. And welcome back to our final segment of our Open Line Monday here. We're going to be doing this the first Monday of every month now here on Healthy Living South Mississippi. Live healthy, be healthy. Rebecca of Gulfport's on the phone. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning.
Morning.
What can we do for you?
Well, I have a question regarding rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay.
I've had it for years. I've treated with traditional medications from the doctor, which have some really awful side effects sometimes. And I'm wondering, are there any alternatives in, say, diet, supplements, vitamins, anything other than the standard medication regimen that can be used to treat rheumatoid arthritis?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. There's quite a few things. One of the things that we use, the Perna, which is a kind of a shellfish that gives you all of your glucosamines, chondroitins. That one helps tremendously.
And it has been tested at Clemson
for
rheumatoid, not just osteo,
Right.
because a lot of your regular joint products are more for osteoarthritis, to where that one is more.
It does.
It can do both.
Yeah,
it can
it
actually
really
do
does.
osteo, but it can do rheumatoid also. Now, you mentioned diet. I had just a lady a couple weeks ago. I mean, we've had tons over the years, but with a severe rheumatoid. And I told her, we just talked about grains just a few minutes ago. Stop all grains. Grains are inflammatory, and you wouldn't believe how much better your joints get pretty quick.
There's actually if you're familiar with the paleo diet, there's actually what they call an autoimmune paleo,
Right.
which gets rid of the things that for instance, your nightshades. Unfortunately, that's the good stuff. The tomatoes and the peppers and the eggplant, things that cause adverse inflammation.
So,
of course, grains are top of the list. They gotta go.
Diet-wise, the autoimmune paleo diet would be really good.
Extremely
And
good.
then other things, so many things supplement-wise. There's good research on DHEA working as well as some of the steroidal compounds. There is, like I said, the Perna-Max that we use. We use something called Olivir, which kind of gets to the root of the cause. There's a lot of research right now going on rheumatoid arthritis that it's actually an underlying problem, whether it be fungus or viral. And Olivir is an antifungal and an antiviral to keep that suppressed to where your body don't overreact to it. We also have colostrum, which normalizes the immune system. So there's so many things. RA is so vast, sometimes it takes more than one thing, but we definitely have things to help.
Sure do.
All right. Thank you, Rebecca. We have another question. Omega XL, does it get rid of arthritic pain?
Sure, it helps. You know, anything. You know, I think that's a combination of the omega-3s and
I
some
think it
perna.
has a little perna, I
Yeah.
think, but it's not one that we sell.
Yeah, it's
but
a
I do
brand
have
name,
people
but
that come
yeah.
in that are taking it, and they do say it does help. And I know things like it that we have, the omega-3s and the Perna-Max, work
Right.
really good for arthritic pain.
Right.
And it always depends on how severe your problem is. It depends on, you know, your health overall, because not everything's going to work for every person.
No, unfortunately not. We're all genetically different.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. 896-0713, 800-349-0713. We have just a few minutes left. Post-polio syndrome. Anything to do with digestive problem, and can you help?
I'm not, well, I mean, if it's post-polio, then obviously it's a polio-induced, but, or was that induced by that virus? Now, the digestive system, yes, I mean, that has a big influence on it. So you want to do everything you can to normalize and help the function of that digestive system, because that is your immune system.
Which would be your probiotics that we talk about all the time,
yeah.
your digestive
enzymes,
enzymes,
right.
and depending on what other problems you have, you may even something we have called GI essentials, but it depends on what problem. But definitely the probiotics and digestive enzymes can benefit just about anybody.
Anybody for anything, yeah.
Right.
All right, thank you for the question. As I was saying, we have just a couple more minutes left in our open line Monday, and we will have a special for you. We got Ann from Gulfport on the phone. Good morning, Ann.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What can we do for you?
My question is that female vaginal discharge, I've gotten like several pap smears, all of those come back as normal, but I always have this problem where I feel like it's just too much moisture, like meaning like my underwear are like extremely damp, so I usually try to wear a liner. What can I do to try to reduce some of that moisture?
Are you before menopause or after menopause?
Before.
Okay. Have they ever checked you for yeast?
Yes, and then they say that that's fine.
Okay. Actually, some moisture is normal.
Oh, some, yeah.
So actually, you know, that's normal for some people. But when there is a discharge, there's some things, even some probiotics that you could try to see if that would help. Sometimes normalizing the bacteria in the area could help.
Because sometimes when you start looking at, when they check it for yeast, if they just do a smear and look at it under the microscope, they may miss a lot of it, because you're just looking at the spores, and they're extraordinarily small, and if you don't stain them properly, extremely hard to detect. So I would suggest it'll do something like that. We've got a probiotic that's actually for
help
that.
both bacteria and fungal, so that can help both.
And it's actually a vaginal suppository.
Yeah,
so,
we have one of those also.
Yeah, that's something that you could do and try it, because, you know, treat it as if, because we know that, yes, the various fungal things can cause that, so that'd be something I'd want to at least try. Right.
Okay. Claudia from Moss Point. Go ahead, Claudia. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I have a problem with my leg cramps. I'm a diabetic, and it's so often that I have them. I can wake up, I can just turn over at night, and there they are. They're in the big part of my thighs.
There's a lot of things that can cause the cramps. It can be, magnesium's a big one in diabetics, so maybe try magnesium. That's definitely something you can do. We even have something called a muscle cramp and tension formula, which have things for relaxing at night, so it can be also caused from your back the way you lay at night. So it depends on what's going on, but we have a few different things for it.
Right, sure do.
All right.
But,
and, you know, a lot of people think, well, I'll eat bananas. Well,
Ooh,
bananas got a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
Avocados are a better choice.
Yes, definitely.
To the monthly special.
Make you a good guacamole.
Monthly special is liposomal C.
Yeah.
Liposomal C is good for almost anybody to take. It's a special form of C that is 93% absorbable. So it's way more absorbable than your regular vitamin C, and we've seen that it helps bruising even with people that are on blood thinners.
Yes.
So it's just something that we know that can help almost anybody, and you can take it as a kid.
Colds, flus, and things like that too.
All right, wonderful. And next week's is going to be on the endocrine system.
Yes,
right.
which endocrine system is your thyroid, your adrenals, your hormones. They all kind of work together. So that's what we're going to talk about.
Sure
okay, well, we appreciate everyone calling in this morning with your questions. And keep in mind that we do this open line Monday every first Monday of the month now. And if you have any questions, of course, you can call the doctors at 897-0070. Is there Doctors Nutrition over in Gulfport on Cowan Road, just south of Pass Road. Doctors will be there this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 10 to 5. The store is open from 10 to 5 Monday through Friday and from 11 to 2 on Saturday. So the main thing, of course, live healthy and be healthy. Have a great week.